Welcome to my Learning Environment presentation for the Designing Education Spaces for How We Learn course. This course aims to bring value to the Gensler organization and their clients by sharing learning and motivation principles with Gensler's architects and interior designers to inform how they design education spaces for their clients. The learning goal for participants of the course is to implement learning and motivation-based design strategies to increase the impact of education space design on learner outcomes. To meet this goal by the end of the course, learners will be able to complete the following outcomes. Please take a moment to pause the recording and review. To ensure Gensler implements these strategies with every client and on every project, training for the practice area as a whole is necessary. This will ensure that Gensler is delivering education spaces that increase engagement and improve learning outcomes for all affected students. This will include global team members in the education practice area at Gensler, having between 5 and 35 years of work experience in the architecture and design industry. The majority are located in the US, with additional team members from the UK, India, Asia, and Latin America. Ensuring the participants of the course represent the global firm is an important step in addressing equity in the course. Learners are in the early and middle adulthood developmental periods and have reached Piaget's formal operational stage of cognitive development and are expected to be able to reason abstractly, idealistically, and logically. Learners are anticipated to have varying levels of understanding and knowledge of learning and motivation principles, with some learners having more interest in the learning task based on their personal interest and value for the course topic. The Gensler organization offers significant extrinsic motivators, including continuing education credits and billable hours. In addition, participants will be able to provide more effective learning environment designs that increase client satisfaction and the extrinsic value of the course. A key issue for architecture organizations is the lack of diversity in gender, race, and ethnicity in the industry. This issue is significant when considering the lack of team member diversity that designs education environments for the full spectrum of learners in our global community. The course will encourage an aware mindset that understands the important ways gender, race, and ethnicity impacts the learning space and Gensler's work. The learning activities for the education practice area combine 6 asynchronous units with 2 synchronous physical units in a blended learning environment. The asynchronous units range from 20 to 30 minutes and review the factual and conceptual knowledge required for the course. Learners will engage in lectures about 4 learning and motivation principles and variables to consider when implementing the principles in education environments. Self-check, multiple choice questions, reflection questions, and additional readings will be provided for learners to further their understanding and engage in metacognitive thinking. The synchronous physical units will be approximately 90 minutes each and focus on higher order thinking skills. Learners will apply learning from the asynchronous units on a current authentic project they are working on, create design strategies and an implementation plan, and evaluate the alignment of those plans with the client goals and the project variables to determine its effectiveness. Given the task and the identified education practice area learners, the non-formal environment will be designed using a blended learning approach. The blended learning environment design provides learners the ability to complete modules on their own time, process and reflect on the information at their own pace, while also allowing learners to meet face-to-face and build a learning community. The instructors for the course units are the education practice area research team members that have prior experience speaking and leading the practice area at Gensler, as well as Gensler clients. They will facilitate both the asynchronous and synchronous units. The asynchronous components are part of an independent and non-adaptive learning environment where all participants complete the same learning modules individually. Gensler's LMS system, Workday, LinkedIn Learning, and the iSpring tool will allow learners to choose when to review the units for several weeks before the physical session. Learners will also be provided with the choice of how to review the material with visual and auditory options, captions in multiple languages, and supports for quizzes and self-check questions on all devices to best support learners achieving mastery. To overcome the constraints within the asynchronous learning environment of lack of active choice and persistence of learners to complete the learning modules, Workday will send learners reminders to complete the units prior to the asynchronous session, and LinkedIn Learning will track their progress. The 2 synchronous units will be facilitated at the Gensler Chicago office as part of an education practice area retreat when all team members come together in a physical collaborative environment. The environment will replicate an authentic environment is important so that learners can engage with team members from other Gensler offices and countries, share application ideas, and learn about the differences in application based on location and culture. The room at the Gensler office can accommodate 40 people and has a nearby pantry space and 10 meeting rooms for breakout sessions. The location is equipped with Wi-Fi internet access, ability to connect to the Gensler network, printers, and project folders, a large screen projector, rolling whiteboards, flexible seating, and a credenza stocked with resources. Learners will be asked to bring their Gensler issued laptop and charger as the room is not equipped with computers. The limitation of this space is that it's directly adjacent to the workspace within the Gensler Chicago office. This may cause participants to become distracted from the learning task if they should have to leave the room at any time, but facilitators will work to limit this. A barrier to creating an equitable learning environment will be the US-based location of the course in Chicago. However, learners will be encouraged to converse in languages other than English to promote a diversity of thinking that directly translates to learners' self-efficacy in presenting the learning from the course to clients in their respective countries and languages. Thank you, and I welcome your feedback and ideas for further improving my learning environment.